Ooh, Sabi Gangsters, me, Chance Dillon here to talk books. Let's get quickly into the reading update. We're on page 120 of Hyperion. Broke some ground here. Really enjoying it. I'm in the midst of the second chapter. We're on the soldier's story. I'm enjoying the book so far. I'm sort of putting the world together as we're going. I'm sort of seeing, I'm going to call it cliche, but it's not cliche. The tropey characters getting back together, which I think is really cool, and I think it really fits well, especially into the soldier's tale, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I'm enjoying it so far. I know I'm reading very slow. I actually swapped also to my Kindle to help me kind of ease the process of getting back into the reading. As much as I like reading the physical book, I find that, I don't know, it's just easier to pick up the Kindle. It just is, for me at least. Okay, so last week on Instagram, I said I was doing a giveaway. I'm going to announce the winner over on Instagram today. I will be running the wheel spin situation and then posting the name of the winner of both books. The proof copies here of Mercy, Tears of the Fallen, and Mercy, Ills of Fate. So you can head over there if you are interested in that. We are currently sitting at chapter 10 of the third volume. I think actually, no, we got up to chapter 11 of the third volume in terms of my second draft. So moving pretty smoothly. I think it's like page almost 200 of 440 on the document. So we're almost at the halfway mark, actually, which is kind of interesting considering it's a 40-chapter book. But I suppose, how many ever pages and so on. It's always interesting when you're running through a second draft, the things that start to show themselves in the story, things that obviously I think as I was going through, I was like, okay, this doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't make sense. This could be cooler. And so I make it cooler, I make it make sense, or I make it shorter. And then there were things that I thought when I was finishing the book that I was like, okay, I'm going to expand on this a little more. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't actually need to. I feel like, I think the thought of needing to expand on it more is a good thought. And going through, the thing that I thought I was going to expand on, I didn't expand on. I expanded on something different, if that makes any sense. And that sort of developed a line of the story a little bit better that I think will be pretty cool as far as the payoff is concerned. And then I'm also figuring that there were chapters in the fourth volume. So what I've been saying is that I pulled chapters from the third volume and put them into the fourth volume. I did that. Now, in the rough outline I made for the fourth volume, there are chapters that I will be taking from that, roughly probably 4 or 5, that will be coming back to the third volume in order to sum the story up the way that I want to. And the more I think about it, the more I like that setup better, because it puts us into the fourth book with sort of a fresher slate in regard to where we will be seeing our characters at the very start of that story. And then by the first third being complete, we will have what I'm looking for in terms of the storytelling as a whole. So it's very interesting to dive into the manuscript, especially on a second draft. I'm very focused on it, and so it's my social media presence has been low, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I'm grateful for all the readers out there. I'm really excited for what's to come. Also, I'm really diving in and trying to do this story justice and navigating having the books out there at the very beginning of starting this third draft. And writing a draft of a book, having never done that before, I was obviously very intimidated. I'm like, oh, how do I keep up? And I think ultimately I'm getting into the flow of things, and it's feeling a lot better as I do it. And it was very intimidating from the start because I'm like, okay, well, this might be more difficult than I thought. Now that I have people who have read my book, people who are reading my book, and I want to communicate with readers. I love this, a part of this process that I love. And I think the best thing I can do for me to be able to do that is to complete the story for the readers and for myself, of course, and then I can give more attention and more focus to you guys as the story is complete, and then it'll be really cool to have those discussions. Man, I am just so excited. I'm just so excited for what's to come. This third volume is going to be so sick, and I'm looking forward to getting into the next phases, as I will be doing the second pass. I will be doing a third pass on my own, and then we'll see where we are in terms of editing environment. Anyway, I'm going to do my short form video. I know this one's not much longer, but I wanted to make sure to update you guys on Hyperion, how much I'm enjoying that. I think I may return to Empire Storms here soon. I do want to read Empire of the Dawn. I want to get back slowly into the fantasy sector of reading, and reading Hyperion is kind of scratch that itch so far because it is sci-fi. I also am like, I want to read. I have East of Eden over there. I have Don Quixote. I have some books. I want to read Streets of Laredo by Larry McMurtry. I want to read in fantasy. I also want to read the Live Ship Traders, and so. You know, I probably got to finish what I've started in terms of Empire of the Dawn, Empire of Storms, and catch up on James Allington's Strength of the Few. Finish Hyperion. I think that's good for now. Yeah, just wanted to update you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in every week. I'm really grateful. We're at the end of summer here in New York, and yeah. I got some updates for you coming soon, hopefully. Just waiting on some things to kind of click into place here in regard to the authoring sphere. And when that happens, you guys will be the first to know. Well, you guys will be one of the first people, some of the first people to know. Uncomfortable silence. See you guys next week.